Hey, Mrparka here to review one for Brain Damage Films. This is the Bible Belt Slasher. Yeah, ridiculous title. It's a pretty ridiculous movie. First and foremost, I gotta admit that I'm getting tired of the kind of self-aware throwback slasher movies, but I sort of had fun with this one regardless of, that genre, so many movies being like it. This is actually by a guy who I originally spotted in the documentary Adjust Your Tracking, and the guy has a homemade video store in his basement, which is pretty cool, and it's actually featured in the Bible Belt Slasher, which I thought was pretty neat as well. I mean, the film takes place in the 80s, 89, and they seem to have a lot of old 80s relics, so they incorporated them in the movie. Everyone had fake wigs on, and it was pretty ambitious for them to make the sets kind of resemble the 80s, and I appreciated that aspect for sure. All the acting and stuff is over the top and ridiculous, and most of it's just like bad or stupid or goofy and stuff like that. You guys got to get that typical, acting and stuff like that in these type of movies. But the guy who plays the Bible Belt Slasher, I have to admit that I did enjoy his overacting. It was fun and it was self-aware, of course. And he had a ridiculous amount of one-liners. He was constantly drooling, just saying really stupid things. He'd go out of his way to make a one-liner. Some were really bad, but that's all part of its comedy. He'd grab a carrot and say, "That's all, folks," after he killed somebody that was sitting on the counter. Just stupid stuff that was set up. Some of the sets you could tell actually aren't, like bars and things like that, but it's better than not having those locations than like to say, "Oh, we're only going to shoot in here and here and here," and not change the location, or at least make it look like at different places and things like that. It also comes with the original. The film was called The Bible Belt Slasher Part 2, Holy Terror, and when it came out, I didn't know there was a first movie. I thought they were kind of being like ironic, just starting right off the bat with number 2, kind of like Thanksgiving 3 or something like that. But that there was an original as well. It was similar to, what was the movie, Crackoon, or the Killer Raccoon one, the Mutant Raccoon. I didn't know that was a sequel at first, but the original DVD was on here, the original film, which was 30 minutes, and actually it was a little gorier than this one. This one was a lot longer, almost an hour and 43 minutes, and it's probably too long for its own good, and it definitely plays as a self-aware late 80s Halloween ripoff, which typically aren't good movies in the first place. But yeah, I think some people get a kick out of this. It was cool seeing the video store and a lot of the 80s stuff, but it is a goofy, self-aware slasher movie with kind of just a fun killer. Is it amazingly well done or anything like that? Not really. It does have some cool lighting and stuff with the blues and stuff. But I said it's fun to watch, and that's its intent. It does its job. It's not false advertising or anything like that. Right off the bat, you know what you're getting yourself into, and it is enjoyable for what it is. Like I said, I dug the killer, and that's half of a slasher movie. With the main focus is the killer. If the killer is cheesy enough to capture you in, then that's half the battle right there of winning the audience members over. But you'll see the trailer at the end here, and you guys should be able to tell if you're going to dig it or not. It's something along the lines of maybe like Sledge or something like that. Not Sledge, because Sledge plays more with breaking the fourth wall. This one doesn't really break the fourth wall necessarily, just the killer and his one-liners, religious nut and things like that. There is a couple really ultra cheesy but come off very funny lines. What's the line that says, "He's not a messenger of God, he's a messenger of death"? Essentially, the director plays one of the main characters in here as well, and he's kind of playing the Loomis, by Halloween 5 or 6, where he was essentially just limited to 4 or 5 words. "Myers, evil, Haddonfield coming." I always made a joke that he would say, "Myers, Haddonfield, evil coming, paycheck please," because that's essentially what he had become by the end of the series. But yeah, the Bible Belt Slasher, if it sounds like it's something that you would dig, then you're probably going to dig it. Check out the trailer coming on afterwards, and that is all I have to say, except that the movie does stop at one point and incorporates a music video that is really 80s and really goofy and really funny. These guys know the 80s. I'll give them that too as well. So it's up to you. It can be a fun ride if you're in the right mindset. There's a making of on here. There's the original 30-minute short movie that is the first one, and there's 2 music videos on here as well. So it's a pretty loaded DVD for what it is. And if you like the movie, then get the DVD for sure. It's the Bible Belt Slasher. I'm Mrparka. Have a good one.
I find it necessary to suspend the death penalty and have you permanently committed to the Hillside Sanitarium.
I'm a victim of this evil society!
The man does not belong in a sanitarium. He belongs in a jail cell.
The name of Jason Fry is responsible for the murder of Dr. Dugan and has escaped the sanitarium.
Let the harvest begin.
Fry can be anywhere. He can be here. He can be here. He can be here.
He is pure evil.
He killed my sister almost a year ago and I know that I'm next.
His name's Jason Fry. He's a homicidal maniac.